housing Perigenent?
Truly amazing. All right. So this is going to be a ZVZ and a good one.
Cheered. X300. What pros from SC2 or SC generally do after they retire? Play other games? Or do they get regular jobs?
Yeah, so that's actually kind of a sad thing. First, let me just say DRG's bottom right, Dark is top left. As Mapu mentioned, they played in tournament yesterday. Dark won 3-1. Anyways, yeah, pros from StarCraft 2 or StarCraft generally. They used to a little bit more easily get jobs within esports sometimes. Many of them just go back to school. Like they'll drop out and they'll go study and stuff. There have been sad situations where they've gotten really kind of shit jobs too, though, right? Like where they just... The thing is, if you stay around and you're not that popular and you didn't win a lot and you get older, it's like that's pretty hard to get out and get a good solid job. So yeah, that is certainly happened. When StarCraft took big hits in Korea, there was some big stories. There was one, you know, a very famous Korean commentator. You know, after his commentary job went away, he actually turned into like a type of pimp in Korea, and was really pretty heavily disgraced for it. You know, there's some crazy shit that's occurred. But yeah. So nowadays, most actually, there's some funny things. Like, for instance, there's a few StarCraft 2 pros that actually became like basically models. Like Impact and Violet are both the most unbelievably jacked, sexy men ever to have lived. If you go look up their Instagrams, it's like that. It doesn't even look real. It's the pro gamer head you remember on like a completely ripped body. And then, yeah, like a lot of people. Let's see, in StarCraft 1, everyone just streams now. Like basically every StarCraft 1 pro ever is just active playing StarCraft 1 at the moment. And I don't know if that's going to be sustainable long term for everybody or not. It's hard to say. But yeah, it's wild what can happen. A lot of people are not set up for after esports. I'm not. I'm sure I could get a job somewhere. Some sort of, I don't know, bagging groceries. Well, what are we looking at here? ZVZ between these two. Historically, Dark is much better than DRG and ZVZ, but DRG did improve his ZVZ. When he first got out of the military, he actually went to the round of 8 or so of GSL immediately. But ZVZ was really his Achilles heel. It was bad. He lost a lot of ZVZs that were important, but he's done better since then. Definitely improved. So, you know, here I've talked about it plenty of times. Just watch like the production tab for Zergling production. Now, see how there's 8 being made? Let's see. If he goes above this 10, it's a big attack. Okay, it is. It's a big attack coming in from Dark. Dark is going to try to bust that 3rd base, most likely. DRG starts making 1 Bane, but look, he makes 7 drones. He's probably going to lose the 3rd base and likely the game. Well, that was actually pretty decent. Getting rid of 2 Banes there is good. But yeah, you know, we're up 8 workers for DRG, which means he's going to be down like about 16 lings, right? So that's kind of rough. Here we go. Dark is going across the map. He has got a hell of a lot of lings right now. All right, well, 1 Baneling. Okay, the Baneling hits are not that bad, honestly. And these 2 run in. They're looking for a good connection maybe upon the Banelings of his opponent. Moving around quite a bit right now. Yeah, not that good. Not that good. So far, the defense here from DRG is pretty solid. Good splitting there as well. Yeah, saves the lings. That's the most important thing for sure. Dude, DRG smashes. Just smashes. Crazy to see. All right, so DRG, you know, he's making a lot of lings right now. Ooh, that's rough. So one of the strongest things you can do in a situation like this is you make a group of roaches to go across the map and hit your opponent's banelings, and you just rally in a lot of lings. And there's not a lot they can do at that point. It's just like incredibly hard to get a good solid engage. You're supposed to have a couple Banes with you as well, which I don't see here for DRG, so it seems like that's a little bit of a mistake, but not sure that it's really going to end up mattering. He has such an advantage after holding on to that attack from Dark. So going to go ahead and take this first game. GG. Dark gets knocked out. Or... Shit. Wrong button. Yeah, well, it doesn't get knocked out, but loses game one. Is there no mod in the chat? Damn, the mods don't like Star 2. Only in Fez is here. Oh, hey, Encal. 1900 viewer, no mod. Yeah, no, just no one was doing the betting. If you would like to take care of that. If not, no problem. Thank you, Encal. All right, we're going to game number 2. Okay, DRG in the bottom left. In the top right, we have Dark. Now, where are we going to go with this one? Is it just going to be that standard 3 hatch once again? It's great blocking by DRG in the previous game. It was way down in units, but blocked it really, really well. What is it about white dog shit exactly? I don't know, guys. Oh my god. Anyways, we have DRG in the bottom left, Dark in the top right. We're looking at that production tab because that's how you tell what's happening in a ZVZ. You know, I'm giving away all the tricks of the trade, but you literally just watch there until someone is making a bunch of lings and the other person's making a bunch of drones. And that's going to tell you exactly how the game is going. Because the builds are so ironed out in ZVZ right now. We've had so many top-level ZVZs because somehow all the best players chose Zerg. Isn't that fucking crazy? But yeah, all the best players chose Zerg, so we have great build orders, and everyone does them, so we just watch that production tab and wait for those lings to be made. Beautiful map. I think they do a really good job. on the maps. A good variety of colors on the maps as well. Very enjoyable.
What? Patch 255 cheered. X300 Urna.
Patch, I appreciate that you did not spam a million Urnas and make me skip it, so thank you. But to make you feel normal, I'm going to go ahead and replay that and skip it before it finishes.
What? Patch 255 cheered. X300 Urna.
I got it right at the end. Just that tail end of the A didn't play. All right. You know, just a couple lings hitting here. This doesn't really matter that much. Both of them getting their third hatches, baiting nest start on both sides. This is where you watch and see, is it drones or is it lings being made? See those overlords there in the production tab? That's those are basically the overlords that once those finish, it tells you what is going to happen. Ready? Overlords are finishing. 6 for DRG. That's not enough. Notice how he makes a drone in there too. Defensive. Defensive lings on both sides.
What? The underscore Jambulance donated $3.33. Chat, if I am elected mod, there will be no more StarCraft 2. StarCraft 2 nights will be replaced with black screen TTS only night. All Husky fans will be purged. Ayaya will be not only allowed but encouraged.
Black screen TTS night.
Smack with mustard daily.
That is so funny. Black screen TTS night. I love it. We should do that. What an interesting stream that would be. All right, so a little bit of pressure here from DRG, but this is not a huge commitment that we see, right? That was almost a defensive group of lings that he used offensively there. Yeah, you can see that everything's still pretty even. Their third hatches are up. Roach Warrens on the way at the same time for both sides. Dark, a little bit late on his overlords, actually. We're going to have 3 finishing here along with the Roach Warren. I think DRG is going to actually make a big group of roaches. Watch. Yep, there it is. So it's layer against roaches right now. Oh, and 5 drones being made by Dark. DRG might have something here. This actually looks pretty good for DRG right now. Hatching 12 roaches and walking across the map at this moment is like pretty sick. Now look, he doesn't have vision of those yet. Up come a couple lings. That's fine. The roaches are here. And here comes the attack. Very good by the roach. And look at this. He is droning behind, right? So he knows he's behind in drones. He's only making a certain amount. It's not 100% all in. He's looking to deal some amount of damage. Oh, he's actually misread the situation. That was all the roaches that currently were out by Dark. So DRG turns around. So he's going to eat this one. What he was trying to do there absolutely doesn't pay off. The 2 roaches that Dark showed up at the front made him think, oh, he probably did the same thing as me. Walk home. Yeah, guy in the chat, the chat is just pre-recorded and put into the chat. You're actually the only one that's here live right now. Everyone else, it was pre-recorded just kind of normally. All right, so Lair is going to be finishing up here for DRG. He's trying to catch up in those drones. Of course, his drones are a little bit later, so he's going to be just a little bit down in overall mining. Spire coming up for Dark. I think I like that. Such a funny statement. I think I like that. It makes sense, though. It makes sense. I'm like looking at it and I'm like thinking about how it makes me feel. You know? The taste of its cherry chapstick and shit like that. It's, yeah, I think I like it. It's, but he does end up scouting it. So Hydralis Den comes down immediately for DRG. So DRG is going to try to brute force this. I wonder how many mutas will be made here by Dark. So 6 mutas on the way. Yeah, okay, so it's going to be like a small group of mutas to force a reaction into pure roach from Dark. That's one of the best ways to go muta. So Baneling speed also being made, so that's going to be an anti-Hydralisk weapon. Obviously against big groups of... Ooh, shit, that is a lot of roaches from DRG. Yeah, look at this. He's actually doesn't quite get that clean, it looks like. And he will be able to push back DRG's roaches here. So DRG actually starting to get in some serious trouble, especially as the mutas catch up. They're going to be able to target down the Ravager very, very quickly. There are going to be some Hydras waiting back here on creep, so that should be able to push those mutas back away. But he gets it. He gets the Ravager. He holds on to everything. He has that 4th base. The Muta's going to be pretty useful here. Can fly around, get some scouting. He has forced that Hydralisk reaction. They did buff Hydras a little bit. You can upgrade their upgrades a little bit quicker and everything, so that's kind of nice. Yeah, still doing a pretty good job just flying around, clearing out some of the things on his side of the map. You know, DRG still has a pretty good standing army. And don't forget the math changes because of the Hydras in there. Now, the amount of Banelings being made by Dark, like, this is the best way to get power out of your supply, right? Like, Banelings are, along with Disruptors, the most supply-efficient unit in the game. In fact, they might be more so now that the Disruptors force supply. But yeah, they're incredibly, incredibly supply-efficient for what they do. So, the maxed army here, Dark should be able to win with this, I think. I'd be a little bit surprised if he doesn't kind of just roll through everything. The 30 Banes are going to add a hell of a lot of damage. Dude, yeah. That's crazy looking. Good splitting overall. You definitely got to give him his good splitting. I don't think he should have gone after drones, honestly. I think that was really poorly executed from Dark. I think if you retook that battle and he just rolled the Banelings directly into the roaches, like, I mean, right-clicking past to go after Hydras, that was the original idea with things like this when you used to go Muta in the old days. But honestly, if he just runs those into the roaches, I think he gets an overwhelming army and he just kills. I don't think there's no reason to kill the economy, because if you kill the army, you win. So I think that was a bit of a mistake there from Dark. He'll probably still end up winning this, but, well, DRG, I mean, some Lurkers coming in. Lurker's obviously insanely good against these roaches. Does pick off that hatchery, so that's annoying, but he has a 4th base, so, you know, at this drone count at 60, it's fine. You can just send the drones to the other base. It hurts. It hurts. It's not a good thing to lose that hatch, but the game is not 100% over because he does have those Lurkers first, and look at this. He has some burrow movement roaches actually doing a little bit of harass across the map, which is kind of nice. I like that. Another attack coming in here from Dark. Still a hell of a lot of supply. Dude, look at that. Just kills the hatchery. GG. Yeah, you're not coming back from that one, unfortunately. So tied up 1-1. Hope you guys are enjoying a bit of StarCraft 2 here today. Going into game 3 here in a moment. Why does RT hate DRG? DRG is actually one of my favorite players of all time. DRG almost made the sickest record that you can get. Hold on, let's get into this. Dark versus DRG game 3. Winner goes against the winner of Björn and Clem.
The underscore Jambulance donated $3.33. If I am elected mod, all Brood War games will be switched to Excel Naga Caverns so that Artie won't feel bad for not having a third base. Each stream will start with a hardy session of Rate My Booba Muta. Lastly, all urethral openings will be parted. Hooray.
Damn, you have my vote. That sounds fantastic. So anyways, DRG almost set like the sickest record. Okay, so, you know, he came out of the military, and he was probably the most successful player straight out of the military that we've had so far in StarCraft 2. You know, he immediately made, like, top 4 at GSL, like, twice in 1 year, right when he came out. His ZVT was amongst the very best in the world. It was his ZVZ that was really kind of struggling a bit, right? But one thing to mention is that DRG is older and has been since those GSLs where he was top 4, older than Nest-T was when Nest-T won GSL. Now, Nest-T is by far the oldest champion we've ever had in StarCraft, by a really good margin. Like, I'd have to look up who the second oldest is. It might actually be something dumb like Flashes. Like, you know, StarCraft is always won by younger players. So the fact that DRG was coming that close at over 30 years old to winning GSL, I thought I'm on board for shit like that. I love seeing people with kids win. I love seeing old players win. Probably mainly because I'm an old player with kids, right? And I want to see people succeeding later into their lives. There's no reason you have to give up this game or any game as you get older. Except for weeb games. Those should be given up immediately. But yeah. Anyways, I really hope for DRG to win a big tournament. I would like to see that very, very much. Little crab beetle. Crabs are so fascinating. By the way, guys, Mapu is our observer. You can use the command Mapu in chat if you want to follow his stuff. He's great. Fantastic every week. Also, he now runs the Artosis Cast 2 YouTube channel. You can use the command StarCraft 2 to check that out. Upload the VODs of all the casts on there. And if you guys like StarCraft 2, you should follow. All right, so, yeah, just, I mean, a little bit of poking with the lings. You know, I told you before, we can just kind of look at the production tab. There's those overlords once again. And getting into, you know, we're going towards that 44 overlord, right? Like, that's where you start seeing the plumes of lings being made. Champagne Kenny. Damn. King of the chat is back. Gifting 20 subs. That is a huge amount. Thank you very much, my man. Hope you're doing well. You guys should definitely check him out as well. He actually streams his DJing from time to time. Good shit. The guys in the chat always like it when we send them over there. Well, some lings running in. We do have a little group of lings being made here by Dark, but it's not so much that you think it's an attack. See, notice how he goes like 8 lings, 3 drones, right? There's this little balance, right? You want to make all of your attack units as late as you possibly can, but yeah, it's mostly just defensive lings right now. Roach Warren's coming up on both sides. We might see like a little poking, but you can't imagine too much damage being dealt, right? It's such a small amount of lings. Thank you again, Champagne Kenny. Very much appreciated. So those Roach Warrens going to be finishing up here. We'll see exactly how many roaches end up getting made. Ooh, heavy lings for Dark. That's interesting. Not what I was expecting as the Roach Warren finished. And roaches here for DRG. Now, if DRG sends his 10 roaches into the map and they don't have banelings near them, that is going to be very, very good for Dark. Dark is making some of his own roaches now, so that's good to see for him. Yeah, a lot of roaches on both sides. Both of them sitting on 39, 40 drones. And, well, yeah. I mean, none of these engagements really meaning too much right now. Still no real attack openings on the map anywhere, right? Like they can't really move across. They've really mirrored each other very, very well so far. Layers coming up on both sides. A melee attack upgrade here for Dark. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? Huh. That is not common. Like, is he... I'm trying to think what he's going to do. Like, Ravager Zergling, maybe? Oh. Okay, so DRG here. All right, so let's talk about this. The melee attack upgrade doesn't make a huge amount of sense. Melee is an upgrade that you can get it. Like, Zerglings dealing more damage can be very good. But generally... like between banelings and then just larger amounts of roaches into lurkers and stuff, you get outscaled, and the lings don't do as well, right? So the melee attack is not that useful. I mean, if you have roaches with them and you can make sure banes aren't there, it can be very good because percentage-wise, it's one of the best upgrades in the entire game. Plus 20% attack is insane for one of the best units in the game, right? So yeah, it can be good. Now, when I see that in combination with Aspire, it makes more sense. So if you're making Mutalisks, you're going to force your opponent into a death ball a little bit more. You're going to be more hit and run. You're going to be more counterattack oriented. So maybe that's where that +1 melee works into. He's getting roach speed too, which I think is just an important upgrade in general. You may need to make a bunch of roaches. But generally, because I see the plus melee, I would imagine we're going to see a lot of mutas, right? In the previous game, we saw like 6 mutas made by Dark. Here, I think it's going to be an actual muta game. Like, I think it will actually be Mutaling and eventually Ultra from DRG. That's my guess here. So we'll see if that's going to be the case. So he made 10 mutas and 10 lings into 11 drones. And look, he's making more mutas now. He is getting that +1 attack. He is getting baneling speed. This is very fun and very exciting. I like this type of ZVZ in StarCraft 2, where one guy is going for like the more multiple Mutalisk composition, the other one is going the more turtley, you know, ground unit roach Hydra-ish type thing. I think it's a lot of fun because it generally ends up on ultras versus that ground army, which is cool. All right, so the Muta's coming in and doing a bit of harassment here. The Queen's going to push him back for now. Thank you again, Champagne Kenny. Throwing in some more gifted subs there. Appreciate it, man. It's like about 4 more or so. That's awesome. Right, the Lurker Den coming up, as well as some of those Hydras. You know, if you don't have the right number of Hydras, you actually can just die to the Mutas as well. 6 more Mutas being made. Very cool stuff out of DRG. I love to see this style. It's just it's so much more entertaining than roaches running into each other. The 2 alternate combinations, right? It's like watching Mech vs. Bio in TVT. Yeah, it doesn't quite do too much there, but he does get rid of the spores, so that actually opens up that base for much heavier harassment. And he is going to fly in there immediately. You can see already spores being made. And he's going to be able to get this. Has to dodge those biles, of course. Very well done. And he's just going to jump on the Hydras. The Hydras are not large enough in number. But there are queens behind, so he decides to turn around. You know, we don't have any infestors. Yeah, so he just threw down the infestation pit. I think he's starting to realize that he's actually going to need like a couple fungals to take this out. Pure Hydra here is going to have a really hard time. He's making extra spores. But yeah, a lot of times in a situation like this, you know, you're going to want to throw those fungals down because otherwise just the stacked mutas can kind of fight against everything. If you look at like the DPS, as the Mutalisk stack goes up, ground units can't occupy the same location. So you actually hit a number that is going to be able to attack at once, and that's where like your damage peaks off at, right? Unless you get that splash damage, and then it's like infinite. The splash damage, or in this case it would be like fungal growth, which is both splash damage plus holding them still, so you can move the Hydras forward. But yeah, as you increase the Mutalisks count, you can get all of them to attack at the same time, right? So it's kind of this funny thing where like if enough Mutas are made, you really do need spells to deal with them. All right, that is a pretty solid Baneling roll-in, man. Gets everything there. Crazy. Okay, now there's the fungal. He only gets a little small group of those Mutas, and he will be able to back up. Don't forget, Mutas heal super fast in StarCraft 2. So that's not going to matter that much if they get hit by that. You can just keep them out of battle for a moment. More Lings and Banes being made. Infestors are crucial here. You can also fungal the Banes, you know? There's like... They're going to be useful in a lot of ways. Going after Lurkers now. That's going to allow his Lings to actually make it in there. And the Hive is on the way for both players. So as far as Dark goes, he's going to want some Vipers. Parasitic Bomb is going to be incredibly strong here. You see he starts 4 Vipers immediately. As far as DRG goes, what he's going to want is going to be Ultralisks. Because Ultralisks here are going to be insane. Fungals don't even slow Ultras at all. You know, they don't care about Lurkers very much. They wreck Roaches. They're just a very good unit. So I think that's what we're going to end up seeing. See, we see, yeah, there's the Ultros Cavern. There's the adrenal glands for Zerglings. Very, very good stuff here. So as long as he can maintain annoyance levels with these Mutas without losing them all, it's huge. Oh my god, he jumps on top of these. Oh my god. That was insane. He just killed like 3 Vipers that were charging up. Like 3 of them. 17 more Mutas on the way. He does not even give a shit that there's both fungal and parasitic. Dude, if you get this group of Mutas and they get hit by 2 fungals and 2 parasitic bombs, everything is going to explode. Literally all of them will die. If you hit the spells just right, right? You need about 2 to 3 fungals, 2 to 3 parasitic bombs, and you can kill like 50 Mutalisks. Okay, chitinous plating on the way. Ultra's starting to be made. I'm very excited to see how this goes down, man. This is cool stuff. Now, this is a good ZVZ. Okay, there's the parasitic bomb. Pulls it out. Good pull. Good pull. A little bit easier to pull here, but yeah, that's where shit can go really wrong, and especially if you have the fungal down, right? Because if you have the fungal down, they can't really be separated quickly. Now, diving in here as well, there's a fungal, but he doesn't have the parasitic bomb to go with it. He needs both. He needs both spells in tandem here, and he's not getting them. Really feels like DRG is outplaying Dark. He's just so mobile. He's so on top of everything. He's getting his units kind of hard countered, and it doesn't even matter. All right, the Ultra's coming out now. This shouldn't be too much of a surprise to see Ultras. Obviously, you know, that's going to be a little bit harder to deal with. You might want to just go heavy Lurker here and play kind of turtley. I do love that run-in that Dark did. That was really, really important. He's getting some damage with those Roaches. The Roaches are absolutely not scaling at all at this point. They're garbage. Like, Ultras just destroy Roaches. It's insane. Like, you can have a lot of Roaches and, like, kill a couple Ultras, but, like, the Ultras, as their upgrades go up, are going to just slaughter. So... yeah, I think here you have to play a very, very, very turtle game with a lot of Lurkers. You know, you're going to need Roaches to, like, kind of absorb some damage so your Lurkers can deal the damage. Here we go. The Ultra's coming up. And this is not a great place to attack. It's a very small amount. It's like 4 Ultras. You can see how well they do against the Roaches, right? That's pretty insane. The spells... oh, it looks like he did catch him with a couple spells. You can see that damage. Look at that, man. They get real, real low. Real low there. Holy crap. Kind of insane. But definitely he lost a lot of Ultras during that time as well. Remaking... oh my god, 8 Ultras being made at home! Oh my god, he's about to have +2 carapace and +3 melee attack. 8 Ultras with speed, with chitinous plating, adrenalings with them. Oh my god. What an army. All right, Muta's continuing to harass, man. We are 15 minutes in the game, and these Mutas are still dealing damage. Crazy to see. Love to see it, though. Need those spellcasters. There you go. All right, throws down 2 parasitic bombs, and he is going to be able to pull those ones out, I think. No, he's killing so much. Oh, my God. Only a handful of mutas left over. So now you're done screwing around with the mutas. Now you actually have to figure out how to deal with these ultras. And by the way, 6 drop overlords being made. He could do anything with this. He could drop ultras like into the main base. That will make all the lurkers run up there. You could drop lings just to kill bases, right? To just kill, you know, the hive or something. This is DRG's game to lose at this point. Dark still has a comp that can get very cost efficient, so we do want to say that he has a shot still here. But look at that. Look at how silly that looks. Good micro, good micro. Lings coming out into the main base during all this. Kind of pointless to have the Lings with the ultras. They'll just die to lurker spines. But yeah, you can see with that many lurkers in there, like, he deals a lot of damage, but Dark is going to GG. DRG just outdoing him there. Absolutely love that game. What a fantastic ZVZ. And that means DRG goes forward.